Who is the devil? Who are the followers? And what is the message? There are many theories going around on social media right now, and in fact, this YouTube channel has discussed many of them at length on the AEW Full Gear predictions video. But we've watched Full Gear, and NXSteve, you in particular, have got a new theory of who the AEW devil could be. Why don't you share with everybody?
You say new theory, but this kind of just like where my twisted brain went to, really. And it was like I sat there and I watched the events of what happened on Full Gear, and I was like, maybe Tony Khan is the devil, because if you sat there and thought about it logically, Tony, like they even played down to it during the show, is that Tony Khan was quite happy for Adam Cole to wrestle Jay White to defend this title, and that. The reason why, like I said, this is just one of the factors, but the original one that got me started on it was the fact that for months, MJF has banged on about the great contract war of 2024. And it plays back to almost when CM Punk was, like, his contract was up in WWE. And it's kind of like, who's the one person who doesn't want to be held to ransom when it comes to renewing a contract? It's Tony Khan. He's the guy that manages the company. He doesn't want to be blackmailed into like paying someone more money than they deserve just because he's the champion. So then you think, well, if we put TK behind the mask, he then attacks Jay White, who is his next opponent. This then gives Bullet Club Gold the precipice to go, oh, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that Jay White walks out with this AEW World Championship at Full Gear. Adam Cole's obviously out injured, and we get to the tag team match at the start of the night. Joe being agreed to be in MJF's tag team partner on the basis that Joe gets a one-on-one match afterwards. Well, of course, that's an insurance policy for TK. He says, well, if Jay White can't get it done, Joe's the next guy. Joe can take that title off him, no problem. Joe's been TV title champion for the longest possible time. And then you obviously, like I said earlier, he agreed to Adam Cole taking his place and taking MJF's place and like being a one-legged man in a wrestling match against Jay White, and Jay White was so confident he was going to get it done. And like, this is just the other thing here. So this is obviously from the first night when Jay White got attacked. You see this big guy here. This guy here is easily like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", right? However big. Look how small and skinny the devil is. I'm sorry, this guy does not look like he has the physicality of a professional wrestler. He looks like he has the physicality of a guy that's never been in a wrestling ring, a guy that, you know, might just own a wrestling company. That could be Tony Khan. Possibly.
It could be. It very well could be, and I think that's what's a fascinating argument you've made there, because there's so many good case in points. A lot of people turned around and said the plot holes from the MJF and Adam Cole storyline at Full Gear. You mentioned there, why would you put Adam Cole in that position? Like you said, because you want to get the title off of MJF, because you don't want to go into the bidding war 2024 and potentially risk losing your world champion, and not just your world champion, your world championship. And the thing is as well, you can ask the question, because anyone speculating has said the likes of maybe Adam Cole could be someone that could be the devil as well. Adam Cole could be in with this. Adam Cole as well could be someone that's saying, yeah, I'll take his place because I will lose the match or something like this. You know, is there a potential where you could turn around and say that Adam Cole could be someone that's a disciple of Tony Khan?
Absolutely, because Adam Cole's got a contract till 2027. His doesn't need renewing yet. So Tony Khan doesn't have to worry about Adam Cole like holding him to ransom for a new contract, because he's like, well, I've got 4 more years of Adam Cole. Like, I'm not going to have to pay him no more until 2027. Hey, it could work. There's a plethora of names. Like, we saw it a couple of weeks ago when MJF was going around looking for people, like Wardlow could possibly be one of these people under the mask. A lot of people are suggesting that could be Jack Perry. We've said about it, and it kind of, like I said this the last time when we did when we was talking about it previously on the stream, where it's like, I don't feel Jack Perry's the kind of guy that could lead a Wardlow or be a person who would lead him. But like we said, like just before we came on, did this video, who's to say that Jack Perry isn't one of the people under the balaclavas, and that he's working for TK to ensure that MJF like can't hold him to ransom.
No, but you're right though with Jack Perry. I mean, obviously you look at him and say that being a disciple, like a disciple or one of these followers put Anthony Bowens through the glass window, not the devil themselves. And one thing that would support your argument is the devil hasn't touched anybody in this scenario. The devil doesn't get involved in the physicality. They're the person that's arguably calling the shots. And I mean, Tony Khan being that person that could call the shots would make sense, and having people that he perhaps trusts in that locker room to be by his side to get the championship away from MJF, which arguably at this moment is being held hostage. And I mentioned Adam Cole a couple of minutes ago, people saying about the plot holes in the match with MJF and Jay White. I mean, you look at Adam Cole during that match, there was a time where he was going to potentially throw the towel in. There was spots with the Dynamite Diamond Ring that was, mislaid and went over to Jay White. I think the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship also ended up in Jay White's possession rather than MJF's. Is it all an accident, or is it kind of on purpose?
But then it could lead into the fact that Roderick Strong could possibly also be one. The Kingdom could also possibly be one. Like, it's so good that we get this story. Like, it's so rare to get a story that's just like, who is it? Who done it? Like, who done it really? But yeah, it's, like I said, if you just look at the guy, physically does not look like he has the appearance of a professional wrestler. Without trying to state the obvious, but he doesn't look like a woman either. Like, he's missing certain physical anatomy pieces that says that that's not a woman under the mask. So I know a lot of people were saying Britt Baker, but like, I think it would be more interesting. But then there is obviously the thing now that they've said that they've dropped the whole bidding war of 2024 thing, but who says they have? Maybe they're just subtly putting it in the background to be a key story point later on when whoever the devil is finally revealed.
That's a great point you made there, because obviously you talk about MJF, for example, then obviously I think it's wrestling purists and that come out with it. There's certainly been some sources that have suggested that MJF has quietly re-signed with AEW till 2027, therefore no talks with WWE have taken place. There is no such thing. Where there maybe have been interest from WWE, they've not had the opportunity to show said interest. They believe that MJF is staying where he is. So AEW probably has quietly dropped the storyline, but it seems to be mentioned in press conferences still, these media scrums. So if this has not completely gone away, and maybe it just feels that like there wasn't an opportunity, or the timing wasn't right in AEW's eyes. I think they could have mentioned 6 months to go, 3 months to go, and sort of give you that countdown to where the bidding war starts. But perhaps now is a good place, because MJF's contract potentially does run out at the end of the year, and maybe this is going to play into the storyline of the World's End.
I mean, hell, it would make it really interesting. It's obviously that we get all the dirt sheets and stuff like that, but it's kind of like, I'm not being funny, but back in the day, nothing ever used to get leaked from AEW. So yeah, take it for what it is. When you look at people like the wrestling purists, Dave Meltzer, Sean Ross Sapp, there is a lot of them out there that will sit there and try and dispel these rumors. But hey, until they officially turn around and say that MJF is signed until 2027, it's all just speculations and rumors. So who's not to say that they can still play on that dynamic? I mean, let's be honest, it's not really been the focal point of MJF's story going into Full Gear. It wasn't he's had no reason to really talk about it. He's been so preoccupied for the last couple of weeks, couple of months with just trying to get his title back off of Jay White alone, that there's been no real reason to talk about it. But now that the Jay White story is done, now we need to move on to this story here, and who is the devil?
That leads to the $1 million question. Do we start building to it immediately from Dynamite this upcoming week after Full Gear?
I think you have to. You can't, like, how long can this sit there and go on? Like, I spoke to Jonesy, and Jonesy wasn't particularly happy that there was no interaction with the devil, and he seems to think that it kind of makes it obvious that Adam Cole is the devil, because it's hard to have the devil there when Adam Cole is standing ringside. And yeah, it might very well be true. It might be Adam Cole, but it's not the focal point at the minute. Now, I would say, yeah, from Wednesday, it all has to be about the devil and what this means for MJF going forward and what it means for his world title.
Absolutely. It's a great point about Adam Cole, because they've not interacted as of yet. And obviously, the devil was missing off of AEW TV the weeks that Adam Cole was stuck at Roderick Strong's house. It's funny enough that that was brought out and all of a sudden it's brought up again. But if it is Adam Cole, or maybe it's Adam Cole with Tony Khan in some format, I wouldn't be surprised with that, because like you said, the ultimate devil there being Tony Khan, but having Adam Cole as well there, maybe a disciples of people that he gets on really closely with. We mentioned the Wardlow wants his revenge on MJF, perhaps maybe a Jack Perry as well, who earlier this year was told by MJF to bring that devilish side out of you. That brings another tease for him as well there, just to join the dark side, be a bit more dirty. Jack Perry has done that after the Four Pillars Fatal 4-Way at Double or Nothing, so to go into that faction would kind of make a lot of sense, really. You mentioned Roderick Strong, there's the Kingdom as well. I mean, it all fits in quite fun with narrative, but Samoe Joe is another name as well you could bring into the hat, because Samoe Joe, like you said there, has got himself his world title match, which could be happening then at World's End. Potentially, we're speculating at this moment, but would make sense. And, you know, you look at it from that, he helped and filled in Adam Cole's spot to get his world title match. But then, at the same time, Adam Cole was then billed to wrestle later in the show. Could have Adam Cole had done his match. It all just, in ways of plot holes, didn't make sense with the Full Gear. But with Tony Khan as the devil, and this is where we bring things full circle, could actually make things tick a lot of boxes and connect a lot of the dots.
And there's no one on the AEW roster that has suffered more from MJF being the world champion than Tony Khan. Ever since MJF has won that, he would constantly berate Tony Khan and bang on about the bidding war of 2024. So this has the potential storyline of being like a year in the build, because ever since MJF has won that title, all he's done is critique Tony Khan and be a hindrance to him. And it's kind of like you get to the point as like an employee, a business owner, where you go, do you know what? I've had enough of you. It's probably not going to be Tony Khan, but hey, I'm going to put it on the line today and say, do you know what? Tony Khan is the devil.
Could be the devil that we don't know and that we don't expect. But just to finish off what you're saying there, where this could have started, yes, it could have started with MJF becoming world champion. Potentially it started before that. MJF went AWOL at Double or Nothing, which of course links in Wardlow into this scenario. If you remember the match they were supposed to have, and of course MJF went AWOL at that time, and of course Tony Khan wasn't best pleased with the situation there. MJF was given a live mic and said, "Fire me, you mark." And then MJF went missing for a long time, for the entire summer. Tony Khan said he swallowed a lot of pride to bring MJF back, and of course that led him to being a part of the Casino Ladder match that got him his opportunity at the world title. We talk about long-term storytelling. This could be in the works for the best part of 18 months to 19 months by the time it actually comes to fruition.
Hey, hats off if it is, because it would be one of the greatest swerves. Because like I've not even seen anything on like Twitter or Instagram that even remotely suggests that TK is potentially the devil. I mean, I'm sure you had a video you mentioned a couple of months ago that you said that there's a potential that it could be Tony Khan, but it was only like after Full Gear where I've just sat there and thought about it and gone, do you know what? No one's saying Tony Khan. Why not?
The thing is, there with the words you've said, there's logic that goes with it. It's all well and good giving a name, but to actually put the pieces together, and you could actually come up with the right digits with the correct maths there for you. Not Steiner maths, by the way. It can tick a lot of the boxes, and it works. And what could be even fun with this then would not just be the reveal, but the fallout. Yes, Tony Khan on the mic is not my favourite thing in the world. I will be the first to come out and say that. But to then have the idea of, say, I don't know, MJF taking this Attitude Era-like Austin role, if you want, against a, who's very good on the mic, who's good at throwing the insults out, against the sort of corporation leader, if you want, of the company, Tony Khan, and then having his disciples that are by his side, his Adam Cole's, Samoa Joe's, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry's, and wrestlers like that, Wardlow's as well. All of a sudden, MJF has got a lot to go through that can keep him busy going through the year of 2024. The rivalry of him and Tony Khan. I don't think you can actually get to a match of him and Tony Khan unless Tony Khan starts training. But at the same time, though, I think that can keep MJF busy while the AEW World Championship goes into new hands and fresh storylines.
It's not like you say that TK is not going to be the best on the microphone as well. It's not even like the first time we've had someone in a position of authority that's not good on the mic. I'm sorry, Dixie Carter wasn't the best in TNA. Vince wasn't the best on mic when he first started. I mean, like, even his commentary was a bit ropey back in the day when he done that. Yeah, it's like it's not not outside the realms of the possibilities. You know what I mean? Like, it is a possible factor that it could be him, and it's like I said, it's a wild and crazy speculation, but hey, why not, man?
Why not, indeed? But the thing is, though, we say why not. What does our comments say? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Is NXSteve on the money with this theory? Let us know right now. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to share with a friend. Make sure to subscribe as well. And like I say, the likes really help on YouTube. They also make us feel good. They make us feel very happy. Makes the day go just that little bit sunnier, especially in colder times in the winter. So make sure to hit that like button. Thank you all for watching. Look after yourselves and each other. And we'll see you for the next video. If you want to see more from us right now, then check out the side of your screen right now.